Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Normieville. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. I really appreciate that. Jay Williams, he is the co-host of Jay Will and Max. He is also a sometimes co-host and contributor on First Take and other shows surrounding the NBA. Also, what's that one show? Get Up, and a lot of other shows concerning the NBA on the ESPN network. He has given his politically correct comments about the situation surrounding Kyrie Irving and all of the dust up that is entailed and embroiled in that situation. But he went on his social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, and he gave his actual take from the heart about how he feels about Kyrie Irving himself and what's going on, the consequences that are surrounding the post that he made originally on Twitter. So we're going to play the video, okay? And then I want to give my little personal pin on the situation, all right? So here you go.
Every day of my life, I approach it with a state of empathy, right? Regardless of what color, what creed, what race you are, I look at people as human beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't ask them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize. And then, you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that. But what we feel like happens with Kyrie is even after an apology, it's not enough. We feel like there needs to be more. And a lot of people I've spoken to over the last couple of days talk about this thing. Older mentors of mine talk about buck breaking. So we talk about tropes. This is something that we feel like in the black community that happened way back in the day, where if there was a slave that was defiant, right, he got broken in front of everybody in order to show that he was not in a position of power. And that at the end of the day, he had to do what he was told to do because that's what was mandated of him. And there's a bigger situation going on. What's happening with Kyrie Irving? If the Nets don't want him to be there, just say you don't want him to be there. But we should hold everybody accountable. Even owners of teams accountable with things that are happening in other countries, i.e. China and Uyghurs and the Muslim genocide that is occurring that we hear Enes Kanter talk about. But we don't keep the same energy for everybody. We pick and choose what conversational points we want to make more polarizing. And I might lose my job. I might lose deal opportunities in the future for speaking out about even the platforms that continue to promote and profit a movie that is considered anti-Semitic to billions of people. They don't have to be accountable. Who is accountable? But we're going to put everything on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving, who, even though he said, I cannot be anti-Semitic because if I know where I came from, stating that he's one of the 4 lost tribes. He's saying that blacks and Jews come from the same entity, the same thing. But we don't want to understand nuance. We want to be triggered by words, and we like fire, and we like things that are, going viral on social media, and everybody has some kind of hot take, and we're calling people idiots, and we're calling people names because that's what we do. We just destroy each other. I ain't gonna destroy each other, man. I'm not gonna do that. Is Kyrie Irving anti-Semitic? Hell no. Could he have gone about it maybe a different way? That's what I would have advised him to do. But I'm not gonna let you guys sit out here and make this dude out to be like he is a villain, like he is a bad person. He is looking to explore his heritage. Now, you can crucify me if you want. I don't give a damn anymore. It's time for people to start speaking out with nuance and speaking out on the principles they stand for. That's all I'll say.
So you saw that. Now, in my humble opinion, I don't see too many things wrong with what Jay Williams said. Now, like he said, he might get canceled or fired, whatever, because what he said on his post, the people at the network would not take too kindly of, right? Because everybody is on this, he needs consequences, he's anti this, and it wasn't enough he apologized, he has to do more, and he has to be informed, and yada yada, all that jazz, okay? That it wasn't enough he apologized, and now he has to give money, and he has to prove that something like this won't happen again, like they said in the article. He has to prove to Josiah and the community, that this will not happen again. And also, Shannon Sharp spoke on this, which I might do a video about that later. Shannon Sharp also gave his take on the air on Undisputed about this, and he shares the same, I would say, sentiment that Jay Will does, that yes, what he said, while the post might have been uninformed at the time, the steps that they want him, like I said before, the hoops that they want him to jump through now to try to get back in the league, to get back on the court for the Brooklyn Nets, seems to be a bit excessive in a lot of people's eyes. Now, everybody doesn't have the stones to say this because some people are company men, which we understand. You have to keep your job and all that, okay? So everybody can't say what they really believe. So you have to give the corporate answer. He needs to be held accountable. He needs to pay up the money. He needs to educate himself on hate and anti-whatever. And he has to ensure everybody that he won't do anything remotely like this ever again. That's the corporate answer. But if you peel back, if you put somebody in a room where they can speak anonymously and freely, I'm pretty sure they would have a slightly different answer, okay? And that's how I feel about it myself. It is what it is. He's going through the ringer right now because we understand what's going on, right? So, and really anybody, because black people haven't been the only people that have to toe the line for the Jewish community. So a lot of people in the world, we all understand what's going on here. That once you say something about that, or once you do something or act in a way that is somehow, I would say, that's against them or against the faith or whatever, what have you, something that's challenging, something in that area, you already know what time it is. Especially if you're a athlete, an entertainer, a celebrity, you already know what's coming. Either you apologize in a way that they deem is acceptable or face full cancellation, right? So anyway, I'm done talking about it. Y'all know where it is. Y'all see the video. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Again, welcome to Normieville. I'm just a normie trying to give you the news, keep you informed. And I'll see you on the next video.